Good evening, Pippadot. I'm looking in the wrong place then. What a clown I am. Hey, we all make mistakes. I am Fat Elvis. This is my pre-Halloween trivia night. All the questions tonight are related to crimes that were committed on Halloween or about Halloween. You'll get the idea behind that once we get into the questions. Kathleen Craighead, good evening. Welcome. Lita, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Kitiku, good evening. Oh, Elvis has entered the building. I hope so. Hope she doesn't take offense to it. Because I got a big old extended gut. I can barely get this belt thing on. That Elvis. Suspicious mind. I can't sing, so I'm not going to bother. But all the trivia questions tonight are about related to Halloween. Good to see you, Inner Peas. Yes, Inner Peas, good evening. Ivory Lady, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm just scrolling up, reading some of your comments. Yes, Kitty Kid. Remember, everyone, make sure you're on live chat, not top chat. Kind of hard to see through these glasses, but I'm going to do the best I can. Everything is so dark. And I got a lot of studio lights on me right now. Make sure my sideburns are hanging down. They since I got the thing, they want to curl up. No, they're 10 seconds, and then we'll get tonight's trivia going. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight for trivia. I hope you enjoy the content. This is the 379th edition of True Crime Trivia, 379th episode. This trivia night strictly adheres to factual evidence verified from the FBI, Department of Justice, Interpol, Scotland Yard, whenever needed, along with court records and transcripts from trials. It does not include conspiracy theories, speculations, or unverified claims of what may have happened. If you are seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do their own research on the topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. This program documents actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All the research for tonight's trivia questions come to us from the Associated Press News Service, Wikipedia, along with Red Darlin. That is a content creator, Red Darlin. That's not the name that he uses online. That is his real name. Again, it is 100% free to subscribe. Why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button now? You know you want to. Just go ahead and do it. Subscribe so you'll be notified of when the newest content comes out. Tonight's trivia is on what? There's nothing there because obviously I told you, it's on the scroll at the bottom of the screen. All right, if you're watching in the vertical on your cell phone or tablet, turn it to horizontal. All the content you'll see on trivia night and on Saturday morning live streams are meant to be presented in a horizontal fashion. Without further delay, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. Pixie Sticks Murders. What nickname did mainstream media give Ronald O'Brien after the murder? Was it A, the Candyman, B, the Trick-or-Treat Killer, C, the Halloween Death Man, or D, Chad Daybell Jr.? Lots of books and articles written about serial killers, mysterious deaths and suicide. Good evening, JDR. I hope you are doing well. And yes, there are a lot of books on serial killers. It is a fascination. When I know this is totally off the subject, but it is kind of on the subject at the same time. Next to sports, true crime and crime shows are the second most consumed watch on a regular basis next to sports. Reality TV, a lot of people watch reality TV. It actually is fifth on the list. Sports is number 1. True crime and true crime content like that, crime shows, number 2. Number 3 is your evening news. And 4 on the list is general topics of interest like knitting or crafts or other things, how-to videos or how-to shows. Home remodeling and stuff like that are number 4. It's always been that way. Since television first came out, true crime shows like The Black Shadow, always, that started on radio and then went to TV. When televisions came out in black and white. I know all of us are way too young to remember black and white. So let me refresh your memory on, and tell you about it. Black and white was the format before color television. And if you had a remote control, it was wired to the TV. But otherwise, the kids in the house were the actual, the remote control. And you got your TV, and reception from a pair of rabbit ears, as we called them. No, they weren't made out of rabbits, nor did they look like rabbits, but they had 2 antennae, like rabbit ears. Because all of us are so young, we don't remember any of that, right? Spooky tonight. Question number 1. The Pixie Sticks Murders. What nickname did mainstream media give Ronald O'Brien after the murders? The correct answer to the first question is A, as in apple. They nicknamed him the Candyman. Now, we all know the Candyman as someone completely different, as another killer altogether besides, Ronald O'Brien. Dean Coral is the what we know as the Candyman now. But that is the nickname they gave to Ronald O'Brien. Question number 2. What type of poison did O'Brien mix with sugar in the pixie stick? Was it A, arsenic, B, ricin, C, cyanide, or D, strychnine? Question number 2 of 20. What type of poison did O'Brien mix with sugar in the pixie stick? Dean Coral, right? We know him as the Candyman. JDR does recall black and white television. Oh, someone here is old enough to remember or saw a black and white television in a thrift store. No joke. We didn't get our first television until I was, I think, in the first grade. Before then, we never had a television. Our only forms of entertainment at home was the radio or the hi-fi system, records. Those are the black plastic things that go around and around and play music. A lot of people don't remember those. Foregone, technology, as some consider it. Not me. I got a whole collection right behind me. This is a record player right here. Dang, I remember hard about this poison. He was an idiot, right? Cali Lisa. Thank you again, Cali Lisa, for sending me the article. I gave you a shout out yesterday morning stream for the individual who was believed to be a serial killer, might be a serial killer. Thank you very much. Back in the old days, says Cali Lisa. Question number 2. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Cyanide was what he put in with sugar into the pixie stick to kill his son. Cyanide. Question number 3. If I can see the damn arrow, there it is. Which U.S. city banned trick-or-treating for several years, even putting out a rewards program to narc off kids? Was it A, Detroit, B, Cleveland, C, Pittsburgh, or D, Chicago? Sweet universe, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Gotta check my laundry. I'll be back. While you're up checking your laundry, can you check mine too? I'm actually doing my son's laundry right now. On windy nights, the TV would be all messed up due to antennas on the roof moving around and messing with the signal. That is true. If you had, those are the rich people who had outdoor antennas there, JDR. No, I lived in a rural farming community. We didn't have outdoor antennas or anything that you would, like people, I'd seen them fixed to the side of houses, but we didn't have one. We only had the antenna that was inside the house. We got 3 channels, and everything went off the air at 9 o'clock. And then it played it had a flag, and then it played the American anthem. And then boop, that was it. 3 channels. I mean, I'm sure there were more out there. That's all we got though at our house. Hey everyone, it's Joe Tallchief. Hello, Joe Tallchief, and good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Joe Tallchief. Question number 3. The correct answer is D, as in dog, Chicago. Chicago banned trick-or-treating. It had nothing to do with actual trick-or-treating. They banned it right after the Tylenol tampering because they weren't sure who was tampering with the Tylenol, and they got scared. They're like, oh, crap, if they can do this, they can tamper with this. And then they said, nope, and they banned trick-or-treating. To narc off the rewards program, they gave out $20 if you reported any child, teenager who was going out trick-or-treating. So it was basically a peer, like pressure program more than it was any rewards. There wasn't anybody who, gathered up thousands of dollars by, narking off kids. Parents just said, okay, there's no trick-or-treating. You're not going out. I'm not taking you either. So they just didn't go. But there were probably some people who did try to collect the $20, per head for every kid that they thought was out trick or treating. But Chicago. Question number 4. In 1957, a Los Angeles man confessed to murder after handing out what to trick-or-treaters? Was it A, candy apples with razor blades, B, Bible verses, C, handwritten confessions, or D, bloody dollar bills? Question number 4 of 20. In 1957, a Los Angeles man confessed to murder after handing out what to trick-or-treaters? Gal, at least I'm sending my own kids out and collecting the $20. That's good. That's really good, Cal, Lisa. Send them out and collect up my own $20. But then you'd have to pay the $20. But I get your point, though. I'm gonna narc them off. Kids out trick or treating, collect $20. Tonight, I am drinking Liquid Death Squeezed to Death. Squeezed to Death by Liquid Death. This is some good stuff. I like this one. I've never had this one before. I've had the other orange one, but I've never had the Squeezed to Death. It's got like a citrusy orange flavor to it. Very good. 1957. What did the man hand out to trick-or-treaters? The correct answer to question number 4 is C as in cat. Handwritten confessions. When all these kids got in the trick-or-treat bags, they ended up with little small confessions written on pieces of paper that confessed to a murder. When they tracked it back to this man, they went to his door and they said, "Did you hand these out with trick-or-treaters?" He said yes, and he confessed to the murder. A murder that they didn't know that he was even remotely involved with. He handed out confessions, handwritten confessions. There is no knowing how many of these actual confessions went out, but it was enough that it got the attention of law enforcement because enough parents ended up with these confession notes in the bags, and then they tracked it back to his house. But nobody knows. Was it just 2? Was it 10? Was it 30? Nobody knows. Question number 5. Which cult horror movie inspired a real-life Halloween murder in 2012? Was it A, Scream, B, Halloween, C, The Purge, or D, Friday the 13th? Question number 5 of 20. Which cult horror movie inspired a real-life Halloween murder in 2012? Reba Dunning. Gotta get a rope and hang you. Or is it more, maybe let's do it this way so it's more in the camera. Honestly, he couldn't go to the police, right? Sometimes people don't think. There's a shocker. They don't think ahead. They think one step, but they don't think 2, 3, 4 steps or how the next step is going to affect the next step. Sometimes people don't think ahead. They're like, I want to do this, and then they don't think about the repercussions of it. Grease? You think the movie Grease? What were they? They were the Pinkies and the T-Birds. The guys were members of the T-Bird gang, and weren't the girls part of the Pinkies in Greece? I think it was the Pinkies or something like that. Memory fades. I mean, not that I know anything about, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John in the movie Grease. I don't know anything about that. I've never seen it. The Pink Ladies. Thank you. I knew it was something pink because I remember them all. They all wore like pink, scarves and stuff. All right, question number 5. The correct answer is A, Scream. The actual murder itself, the individual put on the Scream mask itself, and then he stabbed a woman to death while wearing the mask. Question number 6. October 30th, 2005. A man was found dead on his front porch in Delaware and mistaken for what? Was it A, Halloween decoration, B, a scarecrow, C, a mannequin, or D, a prop zombie? Question number 6 of 20. October 30th, 2005. A man was found dead on his front porch in Delaware and mistaken for what? I had to use an alias after Demi Lovato fans threatened to unalive me. Sweet universe. I am so sorry about that. Scream and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface was based on, loosely, some parts of it, on Ed Gein. Question number 6. Pippadot's going with D, but with 3 question marks. What? What could it possibly be? I am glad I have the fan and air conditioning on here. This is hot. JDR is going with B. Kathleen, B. Lieutenant RN, A. I hope that's mistaken as Chad Daybell. We'll stop the scroll on the bottom there. They said I called Demi Lovato fat. Really? Well, the internet can be a cruel place to be, sweet universe. It can be a cruel, cruel place. The answer to question number 6 is A as in apple. He was believed to be a Halloween decoration. Question number 7. How long did the Delaware man remain hanging from his porch before anyone noticed? Was it A, 4 hours, B, 10 days, or C, 2 days, or D, 12 hours? How long did this man remain on his front porch and people believed that he was a Halloween decoration before they found him? How long? Louise, trick or treat. Trick. I chose trick because I ain't got no candy out here. I don't have anything. I mean, I got some quarters or some pocket change. And a piece is going $144,000. We got C question mark from Kitty Q. I've related Lieutenant RN. Purple. Good evening, Purple. And Kathleen's going with D, and Sweet Universe is going with C. I hope you're having a great weekend, Purple. Question number 7. The correct answer is C as in cat. And now I will tell you how this tragic man succumbed to this accident and was there found hanging on his front porch. He was out on his front porch putting up Halloween decorations, but the part that how he got, into the situation and eventually lost his life was he was hanging up string lights. Instead of using plastic clips, he ran out of them. So he was using what's called horseshoe nails or U-shaped nails to hang the lights. So, and the light, he slipped off of the ladder and he hung himself by mistake with these corded lights that he was hanging. And he was there for 2 days. But people kept on going by his house, walking by on all, during the daytime hours, I would assume, maybe some at night. And they thought that it was he was just part of a spooky, display that was hanging from the porch. But he was there for 2 days before they realized, that's not a decoration. That's the homeowner. Sad way to go. Excuse me. Question number 8. On Halloween Day, 2011, a teenager stabbed a woman claiming he was inspired by Michael Myers. In which state did this take place? Was it A, Florida, B, California, C, Texas, or D, Illinois? Question number 8 of 20. On Halloween Day, 2011, a teenager stabbed a woman claiming he was inspired by Michael Myers. In which state? If you're not familiar with who Michael Myers is, Michael Myers is the sweet little angel who lives in the lake in the Friday the 13th franchise, right? I always get him confused with Michael Myers, Halloween, Friday the 13th. I always get those mixed up. Don't know why. Florida man, says Sweet Universe. Could be a Friday, a Florida man. Florida man, Florida man. Sweet liquid death. Oh, yeah. Question number 8. The correct answer to question number 8 is D as in dog. In the state of Illinois. Illinois, the teenager stabbed a woman in 2011 and said he drew an inspiration from Michael Myers. Florida sounds like a Florida thing. Weird things happen there. There's a lot of weird people in Florida, too. I think the heat and the humidity and then the mix of cultures and people in the state of Florida adds to it. Question number 9. At the annual Halloween party murders in Los Angeles, California, which profession was added in 2008? Was it A, a musician, B, police officer, C, firefighter, or D, actor? In case you're not familiar with the Halloween party, the Halloween murder parties it's been going on for well over, let's say 30 years. They've been having this annual Halloween party. And it's basically like a live action game of Clue. It's a gathering. There's alcohol. They play party games and stuff like that. But the biggest attraction is the whodunit murder party. And in 2008, they added this profession as one of the possible murderers in the whodunit. Super Chat Cat. Jason Voorhees is from Friday the 13th. See, I told you. I always get those mixed up. Thank you, Super Chat Cat. And how are you doing, Super Chat Cat? I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you again. I really do hope that you're doing well. I always get them mixed up. I don't know why. I mean, I know if I saw the two characters side by side, I would know, which one is, from Halloween and which one is from Friday the 13th. But I always get the names mixed up for some reason. I don't know why. Just always have. Question number 9. What profession did they add to the Halloween murder party in 2008? And yes, this party will be going on this coming Friday. Again, I would have to look it up, but I don't know how many years they've been putting it on. Originally, it was started by a radio station, and then it got taken over by a private group. And to tell you the truth, I don't know how many years continuously. Would they count all the years the radio station did it, and then before it went over to private hands? I don't know. I know the group that used to put it on, but that's a completely separate story. They used to do a New Year's party in the Seattle area with a radio station there. The group that took over this. I mean, the radio station kind of got out of it, but probably for insurance reasons. Just like the radio station in Seattle, why they got out of the New Year's party, a celebration. And then they got taken over by a private group that manages both of them and put them both on. But anyways, the correct answer to question number 9 is B as in boy. In 2008, they added the profession of police officer to the whodunit. Musician, actor, and firefighter were already part of the whodunit. But police officer was not added until 2008. Question number 10. In 1973, a Detroit boy was rumored to have been poisoned by candy. What was later discovered to be the truth? Was it A, he ate heroin by mistake? B, candy was tainted at the factory? C, he had a peanut nut allergy? Or D, he never ate any candy at all? Again, question number 10 of 20. In 1973, a Detroit boy was rumored to have been poisoned by candy. What was later discovered to be the truth? Don't I look like a weeble wobble when I wobble back and forth like this? That's what my wife said. She says you would look like one of those weeble wobbles. But I can't fall down because I'm a weeble wobble. We got C, 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 D, A. It might be D. I don't know. All right. The answer to question number 10 is actually A. A as in apple. He ate heroin by mistake. And here is what happened. The boy had gone out trick-or-treating with friends and an older, I don't know if the older one was a relative, maybe his brother or sister. It just said that there was a supervised trick-or-treating event that he went out with along with other friends. That's all I could find in the article. But he came home and he dumped the candy out on the table so his mother could go through it. While she was sitting there going through the candy to make sure everything looked good and putting it back in the bag, he picked up something that was on a wrapper and then tossed it into his mouth and ate it. His uncle was at the house at the time and had left his black tar heroin on a gum wrapper on the table. The boy ate heroin. Yeah. It really happened in Detroit, 1973. That is the first 10 questions of tonight's trivia. Now I'm going to cover 2 cases of real cold cases of people who are missing and endangered. You now have the next 7 minutes to take a break. You can go do whatever you want to do. Shoot a big old black tar heroin syringe, do a fifth, of whiskey, shotgun some beers, make a sandwich. Do whatever you do at this time. You have the next minutes from the time that I start reading actual cases. Not now, just a second, but you'll have a 7-minute total break. All right? We do this every week. You get a 7-minute break to do whatever you need to do. Or you can stick around and watch these because we do need eyes on this. I am working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, along with the Charlie Project, the FBI, and NAMUS, along with state and local law enforcement agencies. The reason we are doing this is together we aim to shine a light on these cases, support the families impacted, and keep their stories alive in hope of bringing a resolution. Again, do not judge them based on the date of disappearance. There may be a lot of clues after that where they may be alive or 600,000 people in America disappear annually. That's a little over 174,000 that are not found. Of that 600,000, a vast majority of them are found within 90 days. Do not forget J.C. Dugard was missing for 18 years before she was found alive. Hope is real, and that's what these families need is hope and closure. Of that 174,000 to 176,000, that's 29%. That is what I focus on here every single week. If you had a missing loved one, wouldn't you want someone to, if they knew or saw or knew anything at all, wouldn't you want them to reach out and help today? If you know anything, reach out and help today. The missing poster you see on the left there is of April Dawn Andrews. She is a real missing person. And that is an age progressed photo of what she may look like. And some things that may have changed in her appearance. Add reading glasses to her. Color her hair differently. But if you know anything about where April Dawn Andrews is, you can call 479-451-8220. The areas to pay attention to for where April Dawn Andrews may be today, alive and well, is in the Oklahoma and Arkansas border areas. That is where a vast majority of the sightings of her over the years from when she vanished, and I'm talking years and years later, people have seen her. She is most likely alive because she was a runaway, and she probably changed her name because she believed that she was a burden on her family because they were dirt poor. And she wanted to get away from the situation because she felt bad about how her having to be fed and clothed and everything else was a stressor on her family. But again, well over 20 years later, there have been countless tips of where she may be today. Hope is real. Our first case tonight is Colin James Airy. Was 26 years old when he vanished. He is a Caucasian male. He was last seen on 1/25 of 2017. He disappeared from Brewer, Maine. He is 5'9", 230 to 240 pounds, but there have been sightings possibly of him, of the picture in the upper left corner that is black and white of him. It's slimmed down where he may be 195 to just around 200 pounds. Sightings that look closer to that picture again on the top. That is not from the sighting, but he may look, closer to that where he has a thinner face. He has blue eyes and brown hair. He has a birthmark above his right eye, just above the eyebrow on the right side. He has no medical conditions that would make him disappear. He has no alcohol or drug addiction issues or anything at all. Colin Airy was last seen when his stepfather dropped him off at the Brewer Civic Center in Brewer, Maine, so he could start a new job. He had contact with a former coworker over social media on the 25th of January, 2017. That's days after he disappeared. Airy was not reported missing until 2018. His family initially thought he had moved back to New York, where he'd gone to school. He wanted to return there and had been saving his money to move back to New York. When his grandmother, who he was very close to, became ill, the family was unable to get in touch with him and notify him of this. They became concerned and reported him missing in June of 2018, almost a year later. His grandmother died in October of 2018, and he has never been heard from again. His family believes that it may be foul play. If you've seen him or know anything about where Colin is today, and he may spell his name in multiple different ways, C-O-L-U-N, Colin, or Colin, that way, or he could spell it with an E on the end. Because he has done this in the past when he's moved away, especially when he lived in New York. He reinvented himself underneath different spellings and went by different nicknames. If you know anything, you can call 207-469-7951. His family needs closure. He went somewhere. Nobody knows where he actually went. He just poof and was gone. His stepfather again dropped him off for work, watched him walk into the civic center for his new job, and that is the last anyone has ever seen of him. Next is David Bird Thompson. He was 32 years old when he vanished. He is a Caucasian male. He was last seen on 7/1 of 1979. He vanished from Minnetonka, Minnesota. His height and his weight are fluctuate by depending upon which one you go by. His driver's license said he was 5'10", but previous driver's licenses before that said he was 5'8". So you pick 5'8", 5'10", 175 to 185 pounds with blue eyes, brown hair, no known tattoos or medical condition. Thompson was last seen standing on Highway 7 near Wilston Road in Minnetonka, Minnesota on July 1st, 1979. Later that year, he is known to have worked for very brief periods for Lamont Drilling Associates in Denver, Colorado, and for Maverick Construction in Casper, Wyoming. Thompson worked as a writer and journalist and lived in various European countries prior to his disappearance. He wrote the book, In the Shining Mountains, a would-be mountain man in search of wilderness. It was published the same year he went missing, in 1979. That book is currently out of print from Penguin Press, but I'm sure if enough people search for it and ask for it, they'd probably publish it. The book is about a man who seeks to live like an old-fashioned mountain man, but finds his dream interrupted upon by modern society. David Bird Thompson walks with a limp because of a car accident. The car accident he was in 1964. It wasn't a car accident anywhere near the time that he disappeared in 1979. If alive, he may be living in Texas, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Montana, or Wyoming under the name of Bird, first name Bird, or the only name as Bird. Or he could be living underneath the name Divine, which is his middle name. His middle name is Bird Divine. In case you're wondering why he'd be that's his middle name, but he could be going by either one of them, Bird or Divine, because that is his actual middle name. It's hyphenated that way, not hyphenated and Divine. But anyways, he is likely living off the grid, and active in local art scenes. He would be 78 years old as of 2/9 of 2025. The state of Texas is helping out with this case as well. But the first tip line is for the state of Minnesota. You can call 952-939-8500 if you know anything. Or you can call the state of Texas tip line at 1-800-346-3243 if you know anything about where David Bird Divine Thompson is. He didn't just vanish off the face of the earth. We know that he wanted to get back to the basics and live off the grid, and is probably doing something like that right now in some type of artist like community. It could be a commune. It could be something like that is just off the grid where he can still have him do his art, writing, poetry, something like that. But again, he would be 78 years old if he's still alive today. Break time is not over with yet. You still have some time left. You have 1 minute and 40 seconds left before trivia night starts again. I will, Pippa, when I see him. You ready? You ready, Gemma? I am Fat Elvis. My big old collar. Oh, you can't see. I even have, I'm wearing here. Got the old lightning bolt. The bling, Elvis bling. I am Elvis. Fat Elvis. Elvis from Hawaii singing Suspicious Minds. Yep. Well, I bumped the counter, so we're off by about 20 seconds. Sorry. Give it another 15 seconds here. Blue suede shoes. Whatever you do, don't step on my blue suede shoes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from break. Without further delay, let's get back to our trivia night. Question number 12. Halloween night 2014. A woman ran over a trick-or-treater after mistaking him for what? Was it A, someone egging her car, B, a zombie, C, a clown chasing her, or D, a burglar? Gianna Marie. Good evening, Gianna Marie. What is little man going as? A vampire. He wants to be Count Chocula. That's almost an impossible costume to find, by the way. We got a brown cape and we got the vampire teeth, but he wants to be Count Chocula for Halloween. What we're kind of hoping he, move more towards vampire. Yeah, we could probably find a black jumpsuit or suit for him to wear in that aspect, but try to find a Count Chocula costume. Halloween night 2014, a woman ran over a trick-or-treater after mistaking him for what? The correct answer to question 12 is A, as an apple. She believed that this person she thought was an adult was egging her car because when she ran out to her car, someone had cracked eggs all over it. And she pulled forward and she hit this trick-or-treater, ended up breaking his hip and his leg. And it turned out to be a 12-year-old kid who was not egging her car. He was just walking to the next house to go trick-or-treating, and she ran him over. That happened in 2014. Question number 13. In 2016, a clown-themed crime wave spread across the U.S. What did many of these clowns do? Was it A, steal candy from little children, B, chase people with weapons, C, rob gas stations, or D, join Chad Daybell's cult? Question number 13 of 20. In 2016, a clown-themed crime wave spread across the U.S. What did many of these clowns do? Smoke them if you got them. That's true. I'm behind. I didn't get a chance to watch Gemma's video today. I was meaning to, but I didn't get a chance to. I'll watch it after this tonight. Proper rocker to Elvis costume. Hey. But if it wasn't going to be Elvis tonight, the next costume that I have is Jesus Christ. I thought people might take offense to that, but I do. I have a Jesus costume. I'm getting the mileage out of this one. (2016). What did these clowns do? The correct answer is B as in boy. Chase people with weapons. Question number 14. What was the most common fake weapon used by these clowns in the 2016 pranks? Was it A, a fake chainsaw, B, fake knives, C, fake guns, or D, fake baseball bats? Sounds like one of the shows on the old Batman series. Batman. Batman. Same time, same channel, same. No, it was same time, same bat channel. We will see you next week on this same time, the same bat channel. Yeah, the UK had that happen here too, and then it actually turned into people getting stabbed. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all, Gemma. Question number 14. Get your answers in quick. Here we go. Drum roll, please. The correct answer is B, as in boy. Fake knives. Fake knives is what these clowns ran around. They dressed up like creepy clowns, and they would stand in the roadway of in rural areas where people coming down the road, they saw a clown out of context in the middle of nowhere standing in the road. Or they would be driving down a road, and all of a sudden they'd jump out from the bushes and start chasing after the car. That's how the prank started in 2016, like that. Then they started chasing after people with fake knives, like they were going to kill them dressed as a clown. Question number 15. What year did Los Angeles trick-or-treaters robberies occur where 30 home invasions happened? Was it A, 1982, B, 1998, C, 2015, or D, 1976? And home invasion. A home invasion is not it's burglary, or burglary of a residency if no one is home. It is home invasion if somebody is there. Over 30 of these acts took place in what year? I loved Rod Sterling more than Batman. The Twilight Zone. Welcome to another dimension. Welcome to a place where things just don't make sense. Here on the Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone myself, too. Huge fan. Huge fan of the Twilight Zone. That and Outer Limits. My head is a sweating. You guys can see that. It's making the tops of my ears and the back of my neck. I can feel the sweat running down from this thing. It's not very breathable. That's my point. Will, you could have been Fonzie. Hey. Yeah, could have been Fonzie. Arthur Fonzarelli. Same bat channel. Same bat time, same bat channel. Outer Limits creeped me out. I liked it. I liked Outer Limits. It was a good show. All right, question number 15. The correct answer is C, as in cat. In 2015, there were 30 home invasion robberies that took place on Halloween night. 2015. Question number 16. Halloween night, just after dark, a nun was savagely murdered in 1981. Where did this take place? Was it A, Seattle, Washington, B, Amarillo, Texas, D, Denver, Colorado, or D, Toledo, Ohio? Question number 16 of 20. Halloween night, just after dark, a nun was savagely murdered in 1981. Where did this take place? Tales from the Dark Side was cool. Usually came on after the Twilight Zone. Tales I like Tales from the Crypt. But they are right though. I mean, nothing really beats a science fiction like, and the psychological, dive into something like the Twilight Zone. There was some really good, really, really good episodes of the Twilight Zone. Even the remake, years later was good for a while. Then they kind of lost their way, and when they started adding a lot of special effects to it, that kind of took away a lot of where the storytelling and everything else, and what the Twilight Zone was. I'm talking about the reboot later on when they started adding special effects. Because before then, without the special effects, you had to use your mind, your imagination, to picture how some of these things happen. With a special effect, that's like, here it is, you just saw it. Lori Vallow is starting to look like the Crypt Keeper. Question number 16. The correct answer is D, as in dog. Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. Question number 17. What mind-boggling fact is there about the murder of the nun in 1981 that sent shockwaves through the true crime world? Was it A, the killer confessed and was acquitted? B, satanic cults took the blame? C, the DNA wasn't tested for over 30 years? Or D, Pauly Shore killed her? What question number 17 of 20? What mind-boggling fact is there about the murder of the nun in 1981 that sends shockwaves through the true crime world? It's on Plato, the Twilight Zone. I get the Twilight Zone now. When I don't watch television though, but when I do, our local PBS affiliate, they actually there's two broadcasts from there. There's the PBS broadcast out of Gonzaga University, and then they also do a second channel where it's at same tower, same frequency. Well, I don't think the frequencies are the same because they couldn't have the two on the same frequency. But it's a local broadcast channel where they play reruns of The Outer Limits, The Twilight Zone, and Unsolved Mysteries, with Robert Stack. And like the older shows like that, they rebroadcast them. I think it's because they get they don't have to pay as much for them, but it's the same people who are running the PBS channel are running this one. Question number 17. The correct answer to question number 17 is C. C as in cat. The DNA evidence sat in the evidence room for over 30 years before it was ever tested. They didn't, in all those years, they didn't look at it. They didn't look at the blood on the clothing, none of it. They didn't test any of it. It just sat there for 30 years. Could you imagine if something like that happened today and people are trying to, figure out and talk about the crime in the true crime community out there? I mean, even before the internet, could you imagine something like that and nobody even bothered to look at the evidence all those years? That is just Mind-blowing. 30 years. Question number 18. In 2012, a 10-year-old girl was abducted while trick-or-treating in Colorado, or Colorado, as some people like to call it. What was her name? Was it A, Bella Watts, B, Kyron Horman, C, Elizabeth Smart, or D, Jessica Ridgway? Question number 18 of 20. In 2012, a 10-year-old girl was abducted while trick-or-treating in Colorado. What was her name? You might be right, Kitty Coop, but nobody tested the evidence. I think they may have been able to convict the person who killed the nun based on other evidence, but nobody tested it. It just sat there. No one took a look. Question number 18. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. We got a lot of D's. Yeah, pip-a-dot with A. Apparently, even my notes are bad. No, I don't think your notes are bad, Kitty Q. I think your notes might be right. I think he may have been convicted of it, but on based on other evidence, confession, other forensic evidence on top of it. I just know that the evidence wasn't tested for 30 years. The DNA. All right, question number 18. The correct answer is D. D as in dog. Jessica Ridgway. No relation to Gary Ridgway. Question number 19. Who was the abductor and the murderer of Jessica Ridgway? Was it A, her stepfather, B, a local teenager, C, a truck driver from Virginia, or D, a known serial killer? Question number 19 of 20. Who was the abductor and murderer of Jessica Ridgway? Look, again, I look like a weeble wobble. Boop, 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 but it doesn't fall down. Boop, boop. Does anybody remember weeble wobbles? Is it just me? I might be making a joke about weeble wobbles, and everybody's like, what the hell is he even talking about? Maybe you're all too young to remember weeble wobbles. You don't remember black and white television. Well, there's one person remembers black and white TV. Maybe two. Two people remember black and white TV. They probably don't remember weeble wobbles. They don't fall down. My impression of a weeble wobble. All right, question number 19. The correct answer is B as in boy. A local teenager abducted and murdered Jessica Ridgway. Question number 20 of 20. In 2019, a New York man was arrested for handing out what to thousands of children? Was it A, fireworks, B, marijuana edibles, C, vape pens and refill cartridges, or D, fake US $10 bills? In 2019, a New York man was arrested for handing out what to thousands of children? We are too young. My neighbors had all the cool toys. Question number 20 of 20. You are an Elvis with weekly wobble envy. I am. You know what I always want to go? This is gonna sound weird, but you remember that toy that was on a stick and it had like a little dome, and as you went, you pushed it forward, and it had two wheels and a little like stones or whatever inside would go pop 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 pop. They'd pop up and hit the plastic dome. I never bought one of those for my daughter. I never bought one for my son. And for some reason, I think that is the coolest goddamn thing ever. I'm gonna go, hunt one down, and I'm gonna get one for myself. I mean, I probably only play with it for like, a month and a half, maybe 4, maybe 6 months. I mean, after that, I probably get bored of it. But I don't know. There's just some things about the nostalgic things that we had, or some of us had when we were kids, us old ones. Purple remembers them. Question number 20. What did this psychotic individual hand out to thousands of children? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is B as in boy. He handed out pieces of marijuana edibles wrapped up in cellophane. He bought an entire tray thing full of them, cut them up into little pieces, and then just kept on handing them out. Marijuana edibles. And now for some myths about Halloween. Myths about trick-or-treating. Your children are more likely to be hit by a car than have an allergic reaction to the candy in back-to-back events than you are to getting candy that has been tampered with. Yet thousands of clinics and hospitals offer X-raying of candy on Halloween night. In 1970, the urban legend about razor blades in candy apples was started by a mother who believed Halloween was a satanic holiday and didn't want her kids to go trick-or-treating with friends. The first case wasn't proven. Was the first actual case, which was provenly staged, didn't happen until 1989. From 1907, the early 70s, I believe it was 73, I think it was, to 1989, there was never a single episode that was proven where a child received a candy apple with a razor blade in it. It was an urban myth. It never happened. And then in 1989, it was staged, and then the parents put it in with the candy to see if the X-ray really was going to pick up something with a razor blade in it. And it was staged in 1989. But it still remains a myth to this day. Razor blades in candy apples, razor blades in any kind of Snickers bar or anything with nuts in it, because it'll hide the razor blade. Other myths about trick-or-treating and Halloween. Back between 1909 and 1969, there wasn't a single reported event of Halloween Satanism or worshiping in the lower 48 states. The very first report came on the day of Halloween 1970 by a Christian fundamentalist preacher who predicted pending doom for all of society from Ohio. Since then, since 1970, there have been 438 million reports as of 2024, with 99.99% being fake. Why isn't it 100%? Because some people who say that they are Satan worshipers or are worshiping the Halloween satanic spirit or whatever. They pick the day of Halloween to say that they're going to do it, and they're not really Satan worshipers at all, or anybody who even follows the dark arts. But again, made up. Why was it not only in the lower 48 states? Because there have been several in Hawaii over the years, going back to before Hawaii was even part of the United States. There have been people who have like, hey man, those people over there, they're freaky. I bet they're satanic worshipers. No, they're actually Polynesians who are practicing their rituals. They're for the coming of the seasons or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, it must be Satanism. We got to make them Christian. But anyways, additionally, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, claimed to be reborn on each and every Halloween, giving him more power and the ability to see into your soul and destroy you. Richard Ramirez. How did you do on tonight's trivia? It is completely optional to give yourself a letter grade on this. I would have gotten 13 out of 20 on tonight's trivia. I would have got myself a solid B, which is way up from an F, which I would have gotten last week. You can't know everything, and you can't know about every criminal and every type of crime out there. Again, it's completely optional. We are only here for entertainment and for the hang out with friends and stuff like that. If you have a question, you can go ahead and fire off an email to 411nowbusiness@gmail.com. That is all one word. There's no underspaces or anything else in that. All one word. If you have anything that you think that I was inaccurate about on this entire trivia night, likewise, if you have a suggestion for a trivia night, you can email me at that same email address. Please remember, I get thousands of emails a month, so I may not respond right away. This week's question of the week. Yeah, sadly, it does not qualify to be put onto YouTube anymore in the community tab, because YouTube says that most of the questions of the poll question of the week do not conform to community guidelines. Face YouTube. I can't. The only way I can make them, put them back on there is I make them member only questions. But the question this week is: should threats made against political leaders or elected officials carry the death penalty, even if no physical violence occurs? A, yes. B, no. C, maybe, depends on the case. Or D, eat the rich and the politicians. Next week's trivia. Again, Halloween is on Friday this week. The following Sunday, when we do trivia, the following Sunday is Amityville Horror Trivia. The following Friday, the Sunday after Halloween. So we're missing Halloween by 2 days. But the next trivia night will be on the Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror is the next trivia night. I thought I turned that caption off. Why did that come back? Come back here, caption. Come here. Go away. Amityville Horror is next week. If you feel like dressing up for next Sunday's trivia, go right ahead. If you would like to dress up as Fat Elvis or Fonzarelli or, any other character, go ahead and do so. Sweet Universe, yippee! I might do good on that one. Got the questions right here. Just printed them out before I started tonight. Well, thank you, John Marie. I am Fat Elvis. This is what Elvis would probably look like today, like a weeble wobble. This polyester stuff is warm. I don't know, why don't they make jackets out of this stuff, or do they? I'll be dressing up as Tinkerbell or a vampire, I think. There you go. Entertainment and education. Look at that. You can. This is cool. Maybe I should grow a gut. You can put your hands on it like this and rest them. Look at that. You can. Oh my God. You can set a drink on it. I should probably grow like a beer gut or something. You can set a beer on it. Robert Defoe was something else. Heck, still is. Mary Gremlin, Gemin. I'm sorry. It's hard to read through these damn things. These are not prescription. They're part of the costume. Mary Gemini 2. Awesome, Will. Hello. Mary Gemini. Changed the name. Mary Gemini. Gemini 2. Can you bring them up on a panel if they dress up? I can try. I can't guarantee though, because the editing software I use, I can bring up one at a time, but I have to know who the hell, who's responding. Trust me, if I've done live streams before for channel members and here doing it on trivia night, and I put the link out there, in the comment section, and I get a lot of people that are not who they say they are. But I can try. Have a pouch. Can you put stuff in it? Have a poop. Yeah, I guess, right? I mean, look at that. I mean, I don't want to let go of it. I don't want to spill my water. In case you guys are not familiar with liquid death, it's water. There's no alcohol in this stuff. It's just flavored water. Sal. Thanks, Will. Everyone have a great week. See you soon. You take care, Sal. And thank you for stopping in. You have a great week. Same with everybody else. I really do hope that everyone has a great week. And I hope that, you're able to get things accomplished weather-wise, because it is getting colder out there and the weather is a-changing. Leaves are a-falling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up because I got to take this thing off. I am sweating like a pig in it. I don't know how Elvis stood on stage in something like this and sang all night long and played, and did everything else with all those hot neon lights. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 lights on me right now. And it is hot the way it is normally. Then you put on something like this, and no, I'm not wearing anything except for my boxers underneath this. So I'm not going to take it off on camera. That's over. You have to go over to my OnlyFans. Damn it. I messed up my own goddamn joke. You have to go over there if you want to see it. I don't have it. I don't go to these things. But anyways, y'all have a great week ahead and stay safe out there. And thank you again to each and every one of you. On the way out, if you would quickly, take the moment and hit that thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. If you want to be notified of the new content, subscribe. You don't have to click on all. Just click on be notified of some. I try to put out content at least 3 days a week, but not a guarantee. Inner Peas. Thank you, Elvis. Hey. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.